So, Paul, you're a lucky lad because I'm about to introduce you to Dr. Patel.
Whoa, so we're getting a consultation, aren't we? On behalf of our brethren.
All men, yeah? Hello, Anand.
Hello.
Have a seat, a socially distant seat on the log there.
Hi, Anand, sit on a log.
Thank you very much.
So, Paul, this is Dr. Anand Patel from the Centre
Hello, Anand.
on Men's Health.
Wow.
I tell you what, Paul, it's good to have you here because you're a walking illustration of the problems that can afflict men at this time of life. See,
Well, I think we both are.
what are the men's health, when you use that phrase? What are we talking about? What are the specific men's?
It's a really wild field because you could go with actually anything that affects men. And
Right.
if we're looking at the top 5 causes of death or illness, cardiovascular disease, cancers, having a prostate, for example, alone is a top 5 cause of death.
Top 5?
Yeah, so just having the prostate itself doesn't, that gives you that potential risk of cancer or illness in the future.
I have an enlarged, a difficult, an
Ego.
angry,
Ego.
angry
Ego.
Thank you, Paul. Prostate.
Prostate. But however you want to say it, prostrate tends to be a position, but whatever works for you.
Is there anything, is there any early warning signs, or is it just a question of getting your blood tested?
No, so very much. So I ask any patient that's coming to see, any man that's coming to see me, is there any change in your stream? So is it weaker than it used to be? Do you find that you've got hesitancy? So that's when you go to the loo to have a wee, it struggles a bit to come out, you've got to wait a bit to come out, but just having problem passing urine does not mean you'll have cancer.
Okay.
Okay, it just means you should be checked for it.
Right. Paul, we've got a resource here. What would you like to ask?
Well, what I'd like to ask you about, Anand, is insomnia. It is a big issue for people, isn't it? And I don't suffer unduly with it.
Sleep's an incredibly important thing for all of us. Part of it is mental because you're filing your memories. You're doing lots of processes about organising thought and what's gone on with the day and basically decoding all of that. And if you don't sleep, you don't move short-term memory very well into longer-term memory.
Oh.
So actually it can be very disruptive. Have you done any mindfulness before you go to bed or any talking therapy specifically for insomnia?
No, as I say, I've never really looked into it at all. It's difficult to grasp mindfulness. It sounds like a simple concept.
So mindfulness to me is a space where I am using my body's normal properties, like breathing, for example, to distract me from my circular thoughts.
Righty-ho.
And it's been proven to not only help sleep, but reduce stress. I mean, in the mental health, I think in men is a particularly important problem.
Of course, we've been discussing that. I mean, it feels like the received wisdom is that men won't talk about their emotions and so on. What's your take on that? Is that true?
Men often perceive talking about their emotions as some form of weakness, particularly in themselves. It's not just about, it's about other people thinking they're weak, but also them thinking, I should be able to get through this. Because being a man is all about ignoring the challenges of life and just pushing through.
Could I ask, if I'm a fella knocking on, an old-fashioned sort of fella who thinks I might have depression, right, and I'm worried about going down to the doctors, could you recommend a good opening sentence? What's a good way to bring that subject up?
I'd probably just be completely honest. I've not wanted to talk about this, but I feel really low.
That's nice. Thank you for that. And the other thing is there any science behind this sort of idea that if you talk about your depression or you talk about your worries, that somehow, that's curative? Does it release dopamines or something?
So dopamine is actually for the search, the hunt. Dopamine is the pleasure you get from anticipating something that may happen.
Right.
The pleasure that you get is so fishing is about the pleasure of the hunt.
Right.
But you're doing it. So I mean, forgive me for taking this back slightly, but you were very sort of down after your heart bypass.
I was. That's true.
Is that right?
It's
So you're
true,
down after your heart bypass, and you decided that actually let's go fishing.
For Bob, it was such an invasive procedure and probably very shocking, wasn't it? From naught to bypass in 3 or 4 days,
3 or 4
wasn't it?
days, yeah.
And we'd been threatening to go fishing for years and never got round to it. Thought, better do it quick before one of us dies.
What you demonstrated was an act of care. That was an act of nurture. So men prefer to have experiential time. So I have to be doing something with you rather than we're just going to go for a chat. Because I think some men find it quite difficult to have that chat about their feelings or about what's going on with their lives. But you can stand by a beautiful river and you can spend time together and chat and have that emotional response and
we
benefit
do seem to
from
need
that.
to have something to hang it on, don't we?
Yeah.
You know,
Football or whatever it is that you
some people play golf.
I think some people feel that connecting to other people is a weak or wasteful period of time. I think it's actually incredibly healthy, and it's incredibly kind of other people to make themselves known to you if you're feeling low. When you're depressed, your body thinks you're ill, so it wants to curl you up under a blanket. But actually, what you really do need to do is to exercise, to get out, to see people, to socialise, to be part of something larger than yourself, partly because it distracts you, but also partly because our bodies really relish that.
Bob, you don't seem very happy. What's the matter?
Eh?
You seem a bit down.
Yeah, I'm a bit down, actually. Yeah.
What about if they liked or subscribed to Bob and Paul's YouTube channel? Would that cheer you up a bit?
Yeah, that would help a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. See if you can cheer Bob up a little bit by liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
I might even get out of bed.